Am I the a-hole for calling my sister a fat B-word after she insulted my son? I, male 44, have a 19-year-old son who I will refer to as Max. Max has always been slightly overweight and not fat, but not skinny either, weighing around 250 pounds at 6'5". 6'4". I feel like the taller you are, the more you're able to carry your weight. Anyways, he was incredibly active in high school, playing football as well as wrestling for his school. He has always been a little embarrassed by his extra chub, but has been slowly growing more and more confident as he's gotten older, which has been incredibly encouraging to watch. My 39 female sister, who I will call Beth, and I have never had a strong relationship. During her childhood, she was often given preferential treatment due to a minor health condition she had, which led to her constantly tormenting me until I was finally able to move out at 18. After I moved out, I went limited contact with all my family. However, when I began to have children, my wife encouraged me to try to be more involved with family for the sake of my kids. My children became very close with my nieces and nephews over the years, so I continued to keep the peace for the sake of my kids. All of that leads to today. My niece's 22nd birthday. Of course, my family attended the party, which was held at Beth's house. In the beginning, everything was going fine. The kids were spending time with their cousins while my wife and I were enjoying the party as well. Max was sitting on the couch in the living room playing a game on his cousin's Xbox along with his younger cousin when Beth decided to provide the unwanted comment of, "You know, Max, if you spent a little less time on those video games, you could probably drop a few pounds. Maybe find yourself a girlfriend." The party fell quiet as Max sat there embarrassed by Beth's comment. I responded to Beth by saying, "Don't be ridiculous. This is a party. We're all sitting around eating and drinking and having a good time. Why are you trying to embarrass him?" To which she replied, "I wasn't trying to embarrass him. I was trying to offer him some advice. It's not my fault he's sensitive." Anyways, after I heard that, I snapped back at Beth saying, "Who the F do you think you are to be giving my son advice about his weight? Max goes for a run every morning and works as a carpenter. When was the last time you climbed a flight of stairs?" Beth, looking offended, snarled, "Good Lord, I was trying to help him out, and you insult me like that. You always did have anger issues. I feel bad for your wife." After that, I snapped. I yelled back, "You're just a fat B-word who tried to embarrass my son in front of all family just so you could get some attention. Then you have all the balls to try and insult me? Go F yourself, you stupid B-word." After that, my wife and kids and I all left. Since then, my phone has been bombarded with texts and calls from family members telling me to apologize. I spoke to my wife about it, and while she agrees Beth was out of line for saying what she said, I took it too far and need to apologize to Beth and my niece for causing a scene on her birthday. So am I the a-hole? Am I wrong for not wanting my maid of honor to bring her boyfriend to my wedding? I, 27 female, am getting married in a couple of months to my fiance, 29 male. My maid of honor, 25 female, wants to bring her boyfriend, 22 male, to my wedding. I use the term boyfriend loosely, and I most definitely don't want him there. For the past 2 years, the relationship has been weird. They only want each other and have only been with each other, but he refuses to make things official with her. And whenever they try to date, he starts acting up and saying he wants to be young and mess around before settling, and they end up breaking things off. He has even forced her hand into breaking up with him so he can play the victim. This has been the case for the past 2 years, and they've probably broken up and made up like 10 times already. She swears he's the one for her, but he keeps treating her like a toy that he can play pretend with for a bit before getting tired and breaking things up. But then, after a few days, maybe a week at most, he comes crawling back to her, and she accepts, but they just won't label their relationship, and then the cycle continues. I've only met him twice, and both times were at parties where I barely even spoke to him. She knows I don't like him, so her mom asked me if he can attend. I can't stand the thought of being there with my family and close friends, acting as if I'm okay with how he treats her. If I allow him to come, I want him nowhere near me. I don't want him in any photos, and I definitely don't want to speak to him. And if I do speak to him, nothing nice will be coming out of my mouth. I want to be able to know he's not present, nor will I tolerate how he treats her. But I also want her to be happy and to enjoy the party, and I want to be considerate of her feelings. I just wish she could understand that she doesn't deserve to be treated the way he treats her. She deserves someone that is loyal and genuinely loves her and wants to show her off. Am I the a-hole? Get it. Just to clarify, she's aware of how I feel about the relationship and him. She had asked me months prior if she could. Since then, they have ended things twice, and I told her I don't feel comfortable with him there, and she still accepted. This time, it's her mother asking me. She's been invited with her family. At the time invites went out, they weren't together, so she did not have a plus one. I feel like OP is in the right here because I would hate to see someone whom I love or care about being in a terrible relationship, going back and forth with someone who's terrible. And then it's not like she really knows the boyfriend that well, like a personal relationship. So at the end of the day, him being at the wedding would just be a random person being at the wedding. On top of that, all the animosity she has towards him for how he treats her friend. I feel like I hope her friend is able to understand that, the reason why she doesn't want him at her wedding. But what do you guys think?